Remember, the forex market do give us blueprints. So right now we just want to go into the market and try to figure out the blueprints that the market has been creating starting from last week. Okay, trying to follow along and understand those blueprints. And once we get what the market is trying to do, we're just going to react to that. As simple as that. So real quick, let's just dive into the market and start our analysis. Over here I'm looking at GBP/JPY. So I'll just start my analysis from the weekly time frame. Let's just hit that real quick. And the first thing that we need to do is just identify our key levels before we incorporate trend. Probably this is a last low, this also is a high right there. Correct. Now as usual, 1 2 3, here we go. We had that and we had this right there as a trend, still based on the weekly. Correct. Now all we need to understand is that the market just dropped with an impulse phase right here. So that is just something that is quite kind of sensitive and just telling us that okay, the market somehow still was bearish because this is like an impulse phase and this might be some of a correction probably before we see maybe GBP/JPY continue dropping down. But then remember that's still on a higher time frame. So now we just need to go back to the lower time frame and concentrate on this level that as a low and this as the last high. So real quick, let's go and hit the daily right there. Correct. Now of the daily, we need to incorporate more trends as usual, guys. Maybe right there, 1 2 and maybe another one right here. As long as it makes sense, guys, we go in. As long as we have our trends making sense, then that is what matters. So this is what we see: first touch, second touch, third. We also had another touch price drop, right? So with that being said, we now need to go to maybe 4 hour and try to concentrate on these current market price. And at the same time, if you look at this level, remember we still have this kind of a resistance level. Correct. Now we go to the H4 real quick. Now concentrate on the current market price. Right over here, we anticipate that price kind of, we might say the market is kind of moving sideways, right? This is it, something like that. But let's just dig more, mark more key levels. This is another low level right there, and of course remember we had a high right there. Correct. Let's go in once again with our 1 2 3 thing. 1 2 3, boom, right there. I hope it makes sense. And we also had another one right there. Correct. Then I see that the market somehow gave us a double top right there. Dropped. I'm talking about this as a double top, then we see price drop. Correct. Correction phase, dropped. Correction phase. I'm anticipating another drop long term, right? So for now we need to maybe continue going in more on a lower time frame and understand what price is doing around there, because right now we see we had a double top right there, which is also another sign that GBP/JPY might drop. So with that being said, probably this is just another continuation pattern in the formation. So let's just have this as a 1 2 3 right there. Maybe let's just try to clone this right here. Let's just have it probably around that. I hope that makes sense. So it's just a matter of time before we see GBP/JPY giving us bearish property, and if we don't get a bearish property, then we just stay away, right? So I'm talking about price probably taking out this downtrend, uptrend, sorry. So what we need to see is maybe price coming back respecting this level, because I am anticipating people might try to go with the buy right there. But once we see price breaking out, that's just going to be a good confirmation. And if you get a good position right there, maybe targeting this level right there, because that's a swing position right there. But now remember, we still have some key levels. This should be the first target right there, then this, your final TP. But I still anticipate this is going to be a good one, probably targeting this level right here. Now that's on the bearish side. Now talking about bullish, for now I think we're still kind of in this trend resistance right here. So taking a buy for me on a GBP JPY might be somehow crazy unless I'm looking for scalp. Let me see. Maybe this and this. Okay, let me go to the H. Come on, 15 minutes right here. So this is what we see of the 15 is still giving me just a continuation pattern. So like I said before, looking for buys is just going to be crazy for me. I'll just wait for market to give me a good selling opportunity, but at the same time it might let me just do something over here and understand this approach. Correct, I see something. Probably this might be another pattern right here. Let's have it right here, something like this. Yeah, so for a good sniper entry, probably this should be a good place to take that entry, because I'm no most stop loss around this level right here. So probably at that level, or even right here, depends on where the market might give us a good bearish property. Now for a good selling confirmation, probably price comes back, respect this level, then takes out that level. That will be a very good selling confirmation, right? So those are the things that you should be anticipating of this GBP JPY. And I believe anything that has JPY, maybe X JPY, think looks so good for sale. So real quick, I'll talk about maybe gold. I don't trade gold, but let me see. Most people do trade gold. If we get a good setup on gold, then we will react to what we see. Real quick, let's just start from the weekly. And what do we see? Gold is just going crazy. Higher high, higher low. Crazy and crazy. Right there, we had this as a high. Correct. Now, let's just have a 1, 2, maybe right there. 1, 2, 3. Let's try cloning this. As long as it makes sense. So let me hit the daily now. Correct. Now of the daily, we still anticipate there's also another level right here. Of course, these are key levels right there, but I don't need that. So if we introduce another trend line, probably we had another one right here, 1, 2, then gold went up, another one right here. Correct. Now right, let's just have this right here as the nearest zone. Correct. So what do we see now on gold? Gold is still bullish over here, but we've had first or second time the market drop. So right now we see, oh yeah, I see something. Last week we had this as a drop, which is just a bearish kind of a drop, because I never saw continuation pattern, just red and red. So probably this might be a continuation pattern, probably to see gold dropping. Who knows? Those are just anticipation. But then if you see gold taking out this high, maybe wait for a retest, continue riding the wave, you know, for buys. But that's just on a future perspective. Let's go to the H4 and see what gold is doing. So this is it. We had that first or second touch. What do we see here? What do we have? Gold, talk to me. 1, 2, 3. Correct. And maybe clone this. Let's see what we have. Okay. Continuation, who knows? So for a good, let's say gold wants to give us a good buy, probably that might be an anticipation, a retest or pullback. Then if you get a good bullish property, then this should be a good one right here. Right here should be a good place to take your buy, something like that, if you're looking for bullish property. But I don't trade gold, remember, gold is crazy. So that is what we see. Now if we want to look for sales, because now gold is like on the third touch, first touch, maybe second touch, third. Correct. Now if you want to look for sales, then let gold give us bearish property, goes down, give us some bearish property, then we just continue going down, right? Let's just hit H4, H1, come on. Right, this is it. Now this is what we see. What did gold do right here? Gold just gave us something like an impulse phase, right? And I don't know whether we should have this as a trend, but now, like I say, if you want to look for selling opportunity, if gold comes down or drops down, then start printing some more continuation, bearish continuations, then I think that will be a good sign that she wants to go down, right? But if gold does this, start giving us some continuation pattern around this level, then this might be just a sign that the market or price wants to continue going up. I'm talking about gold doing this. Let me delete this. I'm talking about gold starting to print some bullish flag continuation pattern. You see gold playing around this level, then once you get a confirmation, then should be a good place to go in for buys, right? Something like this, just know, in order, I think, maybe to break out of this trend line, but who knows, just those two things, whether we see a bullish flag or a bearish flag, then should be a good sign. Now let me talk about maybe the last one, GBP USD, because I don't want to have so many pairs in my watch list, right? So the GBP USD, where are you? GBP USD, okay, right here. I don't know if I have some analysis. Let me remove that real quick. I'll hit the weekly. I'm starting off the weekly because we are starting a new week. Today is Monday, so maybe this is a low and this is a high real quick, and that is what we see. We have our 1 2 3 right here. GBP JPY broke, and we also had this one right there. I think that makes sense, baby. Now all we see is an impulse phase, bears coming into this market, right? And at the same time, there's also this level right here that we should cater for. That's it. So there's that possibility that, you know, GBP JPY might continue playing and maybe continue hitting this low, targeting this low. But before that, like I say, we only had an impulse phase. We've not seen any good confirmation. I'm talking about price giving us maybe a pullback or a retest or a continuation pattern to tell us that it's ready to go down. But at the same time, if we anticipate a correction, there's this level that we should watch out for. With that being said, if I hit the 4 hour, I think everything is just going to make sense. So over here, there's also this kind of an approach, usually signify that the market might be ready or might be planning to reverse. But who knows, sometimes the market might not reverse. Because why? The market might give you this kind of a pattern, but then remember, this is like a continuation pattern, then you see price dropping. But most of the time you see price does this, usually does this, comes down, give you this kind of a thing, breaks, then that's when you see GBP USD going up, probably before we look for sales around this level right here. But for now, we still inside this structure right here. So if you want to look for good buys on a GBP USD, remember, it's going to be a very short buy, because any moment from now, probably if she hits this level, she might reverse. So who knows? So this is what we anticipate. Let price break out of this structure right here, then confirm with a good continuation bullish flag, then that will be a good one, because I'm anticipating that if I see maybe GBP USD going towards this level in this kind of a nature, that will just tell me that, okay, this is just a bigger version of a bearish flag. Who knows, something like this. Then once we get a good confirmation, then that's where our bearish momentum will kick in, and that's when we target all the way down for good swings, something like this, right? This is something that I'm anticipating. Remember, this is just future, but we will still capitalize on this move, because we still anticipate we have something like almost 200 pips onto this target, right? So if we get this kind of a behavior, then that will be a good sign that we will be going down. But if we see price doing this, breaking, then we see candlesticks after candlesticks. I'm talking about let's just say something like this. If I use my bar pattern right here, if we have something like this after the break, then that will just tell you that okay, yes, bulls are in, but probably the market might want to go back to retest this level. So we will just hold this position, because right over here we're not seeing any continuation pattern, right? But if we get, this is it, if we get something like this over here, then let's just invert, come on, let's just invert this, something like this. Now if you get something like this is just another continuation pattern, right? Continuation pattern. So we will just be looking for our selling positions, but for now let's just wait and see what price is going to do around this level right here. Once we get a break right here, if we get a good confirmation, I'm talking about continuation, then that's a good sign that it wants to go up. But for now, she is not ready. That is what I'm anticipating on what's this, GBP USD, right? This is it. Then look for my buys, smaller buys right there. But for now, I'm not looking for sales unless this is what price does. Price breaks, instead of going up, price breaks, then guess what, I'll look for another bearish pattern right there. Then I just ride the wave. It's either we buy or we sell. This is it. This is what I'm anticipating. It's either we buy or we sell. This is my anticipation. But generally, for a good selling position, this level should be very, very nice to look for good swing. But I believe that's all, guys. So stay safe this week. Check out my Telegram link in the description box below. Of course, I will be sending these signals when ready. And adios, mi amigos. Peace.